Hello and welcome to Las Blancas podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Las Blancas podcast. I am Kanita. I will be your host for today. And the reason I'm taking over the channel for today is, well, the episode is about the women's under 19 Euros. It took place in, well, my country. And the final was held in my city. It was held in Sarajevo on my favorite stadium, on my club's stadium. So that's why it's my favorite stadium. And the final was played between Spain and Germany. Spain won 1-0 with a goal by Irune Dorado. It's our Irune. I saw a goal by Irune in front of my eyes on my stadium in my city. Crazy. I still can't get over that. I still can't get over that. I love Iruna so much. If you listen to our podcast, whenever she plays for Real Madrid first team, I'm gushing over her. I love when she plays. I don't usually get that hyped around defensive midfielders. That's kind of the opposite of Yash. He really loves defensive midfielders. But yeah, I love her since the day she debuted for Real Madrid. I'm a fan, big fan, and now people are noticing her. Finally, took a whole under 19s Euros for people to notice her. Crazy, but yeah, she captained the team in this tournament. She was the one who lifted the trophy. Amazing sight to see. Amazing. And aside from her, we had five more Madridistas playing. Some names you might already know because they play with the first team of Real Madrid. But yeah, I will just go through the lineup real quick. I won't go much into like tactical detail of the game. Just like based on vibes because I didn't replay the game later on. Just what I saw there on the stadium. That's it. Nothing until yeah, only vibes from me. But I will try my best to explain how the game went if you haven't watched it. So starting in goal is Laia Lopez from Real Madrid, who actually signed the contract with the first team, so she will be the second goalkeeper, replacing Merle Froms when she's resting. So, Laia might play Copa de la Reina or some other like league games, and I'm really excited to watch her play. Then in defense, at center backs, we had Sylvie and Amaya, again from Real Madrid. And on fullbacks, we had Emma Moreno from Atletico Madrid and Julia Torres from Sevilla. In midfield, we had Irune, accompanied by Elena Gurtubay from Athletic Club and Ainhoa Gomez from Barcelona. In the attack, we had Celia Segura and Rosalia Dominguez on the wings from Barcelona. And leading the line, we had Alba Cerato from Sevilla. So I will just get this out of the way. One name that pops out that is not a Real Madrid player is Rosalia Dominguez. She's, like I said, from Barcelona, and she was named the player of the tournament with 3 goals and 4 assists in these 5 games. A great tournament from her. She didn't get herself on the score sheet in the final, but she had a lot of chances. Most of the chances, I think most of the chances went through her. I guess she just didn't wear her scoring boots that day. But she did really well. She was all over the place. She was trying a lot of things, but yeah, just that like finishing touch, you know, in the final didn't go as planned, but that's fine. And I also mentioned Sylvie and Amaya. Like I said, they're center backs, and usually we watch Sylvie play as left back for the first team, Real Madrid Femenina. It is really interesting to watch Sylvie in her, natural habitat as a center back, because she is a center back, guys. If you forgot, she's actually a center back, not left back. But yeah, she had a great game. In my opinion, Amaya, she had a decent game as well. I didn't notice her much, but I mean, it's good if you don't notice a defender. You know, that means that they did their job. So a little bit about the game for the first like 10 minutes. Germany attacked. Germany was attacking for that first stretch of the match, and there weren't really many concrete actions. Maybe one scare they gave me, but not much. I remember as soon as Spain started attacking, the first attack they had was very concrete. It was a save, I think. Can't remember exactly, but yeah, it was. And from that point on, they dominated the game. It was their game, their ball, everything. So like chance after chance, they were trying some things and I think I grew a few gray hairs because of it. Also, the sun setting and going directly into my eyes didn't help in the second half. But yeah, in the 61st minute, there was this corner situation, and Iruna scored. It was kind of a backheel sort of goal. I can't even explain it well now. It was a really cool goal, though. I didn't even know who scored at the moment. I had a feeling it was Irune, but I was also thinking, okay, it might be my bias talking there because I really love Irune and I really hoped he would score, even though it's not her job. But a few minutes later, I went on Twitter on the Football Fam account and it said goal de Irune and I said, oh my god, it was Irune. So I did witness an Irune goal. So I actually saw an Irune goal in front of my eyes. I was really, really happy. And for maybe last 20 minutes, Germany had a few chances again. They got a few corners during the time. Nothing too scary again. The defense did a really good job. Spanish defense, I mean. So yeah, honestly, kudos. Amazing. A great game overall. Aside from that, I don't have anything else about the game itself. Tactics, not really. I don't have any stats either. They don't really have stats for under 19 women's Euros. But yeah, I just want to talk about like the general vibe, the general feel of the on the stands because of where it was played. So, if you want to know a bit more about the whole situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina around football in the last 3 months, you can. I recorded a video on my channel. I will link it below. So if you want to, if you want to learn about how much football means to us, and that in the like past 35 years, uh, we hadn't had a single good day until March 31st. These 3 months since the men qualified for the World Cup have been like insane, and people like showing up. I felt there were much more people in the stands than there really were, and the actual number, because when you're surrounded by people, it does feel better. But the atmosphere was really really fun. There were a few Spaniards. It was mostly like Spanish fans. It was mostly the families of the Spanish players. Similar thing with the German fans. But yeah, I know that a lot of our people were surrounding with Spanish fans, and we were just chanting España with them. It was really cool. And I even joined some of their other chants that they weren't just España. I even joined the Yo soy español, español, español. You know, the friend I brought with me, she also started vibing to that, and I told her that means I am Spanish. You know, and I didn't care. I was just doing whatever. I was really happy about the goal. Okay, but there's also this like from a kind of a difference from 2022 when we hosted the under 17 Euros, and it was much different set of comments I heard from our people on stands. So this time around, it was more comments about um like them seeing this game as an actual, sports match, and not just something to come here for the vibes, because, women's football not that popular in this country or whatever. So that was then in 2022 where it wasn't, where people were just complaining and kind of bored as well in some sense. And also a bit disappointed in another sense because people were just not used to women's football, if that makes sense. But throughout the years, I've noticed that there were many more broadcasts of our senior women's national team on TV because the other month there was a our senior team played Estonia. It was a really big game for our chances to qualify for the World Cup in Brazil next year, and we needed a win Our girls really tried a lot and had so many chances. Like I think over like 25 shots, I think, versus just a handful of Estonia. We drew in the end. It was 1-1. It was really sad to see in the end, but people talked about it too because the game itself was on this big sports channel in of the region, like Serbia, Croatia, and Bosnia Herzegovina will watch that channel, also Montenegro. So they're like this whole region knows about these channels. It was on the main channel there. And it was really cool to see our women's national team, get broadcast on the channel like that. Because the other year when we had the Nations League, and we had first Denmark, then like a year later we had Sweden. I had to watch like foreign television to watch our games. So yeah, I literally watched Danish TV and Swedish TV. Very weird. But yeah, over the years, they got kind of known. They got talked about a bit, even though people don't necessarily follow that much. We still hear about them. We hear about their results on the radio as well, which is huge for me. I'm really glad to hear that because that wasn't the case before. Our under 19 team also didn't get a single point this Euros, but we got our historic first goal, which is great. They also got the support from the fans there. They got to celebrate. It was just a feel good moment as well, and it is sort of a step forward. Our biggest club, SFK's 2000, it's from Sarajevo. I think at least hosted the qualifying tournament for the Champions League at least twice. I know it was at least twice, and it's also a big deal. I think it's really good. Like this under 19 tournament wasn't even marketed that well. It was paid. You had to pay as it's a change, literally euro and a half for other games and 2.5 euros for the final. One ticket for this tournament, which was nothing. But yeah, you had to go on the website and buy it. That's the whole thing around it. But yeah, that and it wasn't marketed that well. There were some posters around, not that many. Might have been more marketing if it wasn't happening at the same time as the men's World Cup. I don't know. We'll never know. But I am glad to see people reacting like this to women's football. People actually talking in the stands. Kind of tactical things like, oh, she did this because of that. Oh my gosh, she's really good. And every time like when I got the ball and like turned around with the ball, again, I heard like the whole stadium going like, ooh, like amazing stuff. And I was like, yes, that's my girl. Let's go. So yeah, I it's I could talk about this for ages, but it's just the vibes. I would just talk about the vibes, and I would probably bore you. So I guess I will stop here. And I would like to just end this episode by congratulating Spain, congratulating David and Snap on a great tournament, and our six girls. So aside from Alaya, Sylvie, Amaya, and Nirune, who started the final, we also had Adriana Folgado, who got on in 74th minute, and Iris Ashley, who didn't play this game because she was on crutches. I don't remember when she got injured because she played something in the Sweden game, the semifinals. But yeah, she was seen with crutches. But yeah, I know she was seen dancing with the crutches as well in the celebration. I hope it's nothing serious. She recovers well, and that we see all of them fit for next season. As you know, we already have a few of them playing for the first team of Real Madrid, and they will probably be commemorated on the Stefano again. But they also got last year because they won this last year as well. For the uh, Spain won 5 times in a row already. So yeah, talking about Real Madrid Femenino, we also had some surprise departures in the meantime, and we had a lot of signings as well, which we haven't talked about at all. So we will come together to talk about it a bit later. Might not be possible for the next 2 weeks, but we'll do it as soon as we can record together. And until next time, Ala Madrid.